In this video, I will discuss some system of particles problems from previous question papers of IIT JEE. This question number 1. Two particles of masses m1 and m2 in projectile motion have velocities v1 and v2 and v1 is less than v2 respectively at time t equal to 0. They collide at time t0. Their velocities become v1 prime and v2 prime at time 2t0 while still moving in air. The value of m1 v1 prime plus m2 v2 prime minus m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is. 4 options are given. You can pause the video and attempt this question. Here is the solution. So the particle velocities are v1 and v2 at time t equal to 0 and v1 is less than v2, and at time t0 they collide, and at time 2t0 their velocities are v1 prime and v2 prime. During collision the velocities will change, so let the velocities before collision be v1i and v2i, and let the velocities after collision be v1f and v2f. So I is before collision and f is after collision. So this is the earth from which the particles m1 and m2 are projected. Let x-axis be along the earth's surface and y-axis be perpendicular to the earth's surface. Along the x direction there is no force acting. Gravity acts only along the y direction. So along the x direction the momentum is conserved. Here the system is the system of two particles m1 and m2. So the momentum of the system at t equal to 0, the x component, and the momentum of this system at time 2t0, the x component, both of them will be equal because the momentum is conserved as there is no force in the x direction. Momentum of the system in the x direction at time t equal to 0 is the velocities of v1 and v2. So m1 v1x plus m2 v2x, and the momentum of the system at time 2t0 is v1 prime x, the x component, and v2 prime x, the x component of m2. So these two are equal. So the given expression which we have to evaluate is the momentum of the system at time 2t0, because prime denotes the quantities at time 2t0, minus the momentum of the system at time t equal to 0. So this is a vector equation. It will have two components, x component and y component. So the x component is will cancel because the x component of the momentum at time 2t0 is same as x component of the momentum at time t equal to 0. So the x component will cancel. So only the y component will remain that we have to calculate. So in the y direction there is gravity. So you have to find m1 v1 prime y minus m1 v1 y. So m1 v1 prime minus v1 y, and also m2 v2 prime y minus m2 v2 y. So m2 v2 prime y minus v2 y. So this quantity we will calculate, and v1 prime y is the velocity at time 2t0. So that can be related to the velocity here, that is just after collision. So that is v1f minus gt0, because g is in the downward direction and we have taken the positive y direction upward. And similarly v1y is the velocity here, that can be related to v1 I y. So that is the final velocity plus gt0. So similarly for the second particle, v2y y prime is related to v2f y component as v2f y minus gt0, and similarly the v2y component is related to v2iy component as v2iy plus gt0. So here we can rearrange the terms. So v1 m1 v1f y and then m2 v2f y. So this is the momentum of the y component momentum at time 2t0, and also we can correct these terms. That will be minus m1 v1 iy plus m2 v2 iy minus all the g terms. So that will be minus 2 times gt0 into m1 plus m2. This is the y component of the system at time 2t0, and this is the This is the y component of the system just after collision, because F denotes the condition just after collision and I denotes the condition just before collision. So the momentum of the system just after collision is the momentum of the system just after collision, and these two momentums are conserved because during the instant of collision there is conservation of momentum just after and just before. So this will give 0. So the only quantity that is remaining is minus 2 gt naught into m1 plus m2. So this momentum is in the downward direction. So here they are given only the magnitude. So the correct option is option C. This is the next question. Two blocks of masses 10 kg and 4 kg are connected by a spring of negligible mass and placed on a frictionless horizontal surface. An impulse gives a velocity of 14 meters per second to the heavier block in the direction of lighter block. The velocity of center of masses. You can pause the video and attempt this question. So there are two blocks 10 kg and 4 kg and it is connected by a massless spring. So the impulse gives a velocity of 14 meters per second to this heavier block. So just after the impulse is given, the velocity of this 10 kg block is 14 meters per second and 4 kg block will still continue to be 0 meters per second because of the spring, the velocity of this 4 kg block will not change instantaneously. So it was 0 before the impulse was imparted. So just after the impulse was imparted, this velocity will be 0 meters per second. Velocity of center of mass is given as m1 v1 plus m2 v2 divided by m1 plus m2. So the velocity of center of mass just after the impulse has been given as 10 into 14 plus 4 into 0 divided by 14, that is 10 meters per second. So the velocity of center of mass just after the impulse is being given as 10 meters per second, and after the impulse is being given, the velocity of center of mass will not change because after the impulse there is no external force acting on the system. So the velocity of center of mass will continue to remain the value of 10 meters per second, which is the value just after the impulse is being given. So the correct option is option C. This is the next question. A particle moves in xy plane under the influence of force such that its linear momentum is p as a function of time is a I cap cos kt minus j cap sin kt. A and k are constants. The angle between force and momentum is, you can pause and attempt this question. So the momentum is given as a into I cap cos kt minus j cap sin kt. A and k are constants. Force is given as rate of change of momentum by Newton's second law, that is d by dt of p. So if we differentiate this thing with respect to time, we get a I cap derivative of cos is minus sine and derivative of kt is k. Derivative of sine is cos and derivative of kt is k. And cos of the angle between force and momentum is f cap dot p cap. F cap is the unit vector along the force and p cap is the unit vector along momentum. So f cap is, here if we take ak outside, the magnitude of the remaining quantity is 1. So this is a unit vector. So leaving out ak, the unit vector in f cap direction is I minus sine minus j cos. And momentum vector, if you leave out a, this is a unit vector. So the unit vector along momentum direction is I cap cos minus j sine. So here we can collect terms I cap minus sine cos and j cap dot j cap plus sine cos. So it is 0. So theta is 90 degrees. So correct option is option D. This is the next question. Two small particles of equal masses start moving in opposite directions from a point A in a horizontal circular orbit. The tangential velocities are v and 2v respectively, as shown in the figure. Between collisions, the particles move with constant speeds. After how many elastic collisions other than that A, these two particles will again reach the point A? You can pause and attempt this question. So the two particles, they are of equal mass. So this v will move in this direction and this particle will move with 2v in this direction. So when this particle covers a distance of L, this particle will cover a distance of 2L. So in angle terms, when this particle sweeps an angle of 120 degrees, this particle will sweep an angle of 240 degrees. So the first collision will happen here at this point at 120 degrees from the vertical. So when two equal masses collide, after collision they will interchange the velocity. So we'll use this result. When two equal masses collide, after collision the velocities will get interchanged. So before collision this particle has got velocity v and this particle has got 2v. So after collision this particle will move with velocity v and this particle will move with velocity 2v. So this particle will travel 240 degrees and this particle will travel 120 degrees. So the second collision will happen here. And after the second collision, this particle will move with velocity 2v and this particle will move with velocity v and will come to A. So before coming to A, there are two collisions. So the correct option is option C. This is the next question. Look at the drawing given in the figure, which has been drawn with ink of uniform line thickness. The mass of the ink used to draw each of the inner circles, two inner circles, and each of the two line segments is m. The mass of the ink used to draw the outer circle is 6m. The coordinates of center of different parts are outer circle 0, 0, left inner circle minus a, right inner circle a, vertical line center is 0, 0, horizontal line center is 0, minus a. The y coordinates of center of mass of the ink in this drawing is. You can pause and attempt this question. Here is the solution. So to find the center of mass of this complete mass distribution, we can divide the mass into parts and replace each part by its mass at its center of mass. So this outer circle of mass 6m can be replaced by a point mass of mass 6m at the center, that's at origin of xy axis. So similarly, this left inner circle can be replaced by a point mass of mass m at its center of mass. The center of mass is located at a distance a from y axis. So this distance is a. Similarly, the right inner circle can be replaced by a point mass of mass m at a distance a from the y axis. And the vertical line, the center has been given as 0, 0. So the vertical line is replaced by a point mass of mass m at the origin. And the horizontal line, the mass is m, so it's being replaced by a point mass of mass m at minus a, y equal to minus a. So this entire mass distribution is replaced by point masses of m, 6m plus m at the origin and m at y equal to minus a. So to find the center of mass of this distribution, we have to find the center of mass of this point masses. So using the formula center of mass, so it is these two masses are at y coordinate is a, so it is 2m into a. So and this point mass is at y coordinate minus a, and this point mass 7m is at 0. So it's 7m into 0. So YCM is a by 10. The correct option is option A. This is the next question. A particle of mass m is projected from the ground with an initial speed u0 at an angle alpha with the horizontal. At the highest point of its trajectory, it makes completely inelastic collision with another identical particle which is thrown vertically upward from the ground with same initial speed u0. The angle of composite system makes with horizontal immediately after collision is. You can pause and attempt this question. So one particle of mass m is thrown at an angle alpha with velocity u0, and a second particle is thrown vertically upward so that it collides with the highest point of this first particle. So it should be thrown vertically below the highest point of the first particle. So the second particle is thrown with a velocity u0 corresponding to the point of the highest point of the first particle. So when this first particle moves and reaches this point, the second particle covers the same distance, and it collides with this particle, and since a completely inelastic collision, they will stick together, and the combined mass 2m moves at the velocity v after collision. So let the condition before collision be denoted by I, and let the condition after collision be denoted by f. So the first particle, the I component, the velocity here, that is I is just before collision. The x component velocity of this projectile is not going to change. So whatever is the x component velocity here, that is u0 cos alpha, with the same x component velocity at this point, that is u0 cos alpha into I cap. Direction is I cap. And for the first particle, the vertical component of the y component of the velocity at this point is 0. So using that, we can get this value of h, maximum height. So v square equal to u square minus 2as. So v1 square at this maximum height point is 0 because it's turning point. From that, we can get the maximum height h as u0 sin alpha square divided by 2g. For the second particle, again we can write this equation v square equal to u square minus 2as. So the velocity of this second particle when it reaches this point in the y direction is initial velocity u0 square minus 2gh. H value is got from here. Actually, we can use 2gh from here as u0 sin alpha square. So from that, we get the y component velocity of the second particle as u0 cos alpha when it reaches this point just before collision. So the velocity of the second particle before collision, that is I, is u0 cos alpha in the j cap direction. So we can apply conservation momentum for this collision in the x direction and y direction. So in the x direction, the initial momentum is the momentum of this first particle, that is the velocity u0 cos alpha into the mass. This second particle will not have component in the x direction, it will have component in the y direction only. So the second particle will not contribute to the momentum before collision. And the final momentum, the x component is 2m into v, vx, the x component of this velocity. So 2m into vx. From this we get vx as u0 by 2 cos alpha. Similarly, considering the momentum in the y direction, before collision, the momentum of the system in the y direction is because of this particle 2, which has got a velocity of u0 cos alpha in the y direction. So m into u0 cos alpha. The first particle will have momentum only in the x direction, so it will not contribute in the y direction. And after collision, the momentum in the y direction is vy into the mass 2m. So 2m into vy. So from this we get vy as u0 cos alpha, u0 by 2 cos alpha. So the magnitude of the x component and the y component is same. So the velocity vector will make an angle of 45 degrees with the horizontal. That is pi by 4 radians. So the correct option is option A.